Attempts to change the law on the assisted dying issue were made by the MSP Margot MacDonald, who died in April 2014 after a long fight against Parkinson's. The idea was put before Holyrood twice, and her bills failed to receive parliamentary backing. In Scotland, there is no specific crime of assisting a suicide, but it is possible that helping a person to die could lead to a prosecution for murder, culpable homicide or reckless endangerment. And Scotland today welcomes a Canadian perspective from a country which has had its own hotly debated history with assisted suicide.
I'm here to give a perspective on what's going on in Scotland from an outsider's view. So in Canada, we have medical assistance in dying. We've had it now since 2016, and we learned a lot in getting from a prohibitive regime to a permissive regime. And so I kind of consider it paying it forward. We learned a lot from the other countries like the Netherlands and Belgium that went before us. So now's our opportunity to help others who are thinking about moving in this direction to learn from our lessons so you don't fall into the same pitholes that we fell into and can avoid some of the challenges and maybe do it better than we did.
I'm the MSP that's leading on the proposal for a new bill to be brought back to Parliament to look at the issue around assisted dying. And I'm also a member of FATE. I'm one of the trustees. And we're working very hard to look at what is needed, what kind of legislation we need, and to learn from the international experience that is now there in terms of how we can make a difference for people.
The linkages between the United Kingdom more generally and Canada are very strong. We have similar, although not identical, legal systems, and a lot of similarities in the cultures. And so naturally, when one is looking to see what have others done in this area, you want to look at places that actually are similar enough. And I think Canada is actually the most similar to Scotland of any of the places that have actually legalized assisted dying. So I think it's useful, most useful for Scotland to look to our example. Also, we're very recent in having advanced assisted dying. And so again, you can learn from those who have gone more recently down this path for lessons learned.
There are a lot of similarities between Scotland and Canada, and our people are very similar, and our countries are very similar. Certainly the first time I went to Canada, it was rather like going to a slightly larger Scotland and perhaps slightly nicer weather at times. But we do have many similarities, and I think that the process they've gone through and the laws they've enacted provide a huge basis of evidence and learning for us. I think that's absolutely invaluable when it comes to bringing a new bill forward, because the last two bills that came definitely had flaws, shall we say. And I want to ensure that anything we bring back to Parliament this time is something that everybody can look at and see the merit of. Even if they don't necessarily agree with the principle, they can understand what we're trying to do, because I think our law is extremely unsafe at the moment, and this is about making it a lot safer for everybody.
In 2015, MSPs rejected the Assisted Suicide Scotland bid by 82 votes to 36 following a debate at Holyrood. Conservative MSP Dr Nanette Milne, a former anaesthetist and cancer researcher who sat on Holyrood's health committee, said at the time, "Personally, as a former health professional, the idea of actively and deliberately hastening death by assisting someone to die is deeply disturbing for me, and I share the view of many professional colleagues that to legislate for this would risk undermining patient trust in doctors and medical advice." And those colleagues remain adamant that no new bill should be accepted. But for today, the desire of those promoting end-of-life choices is underlined by looking to Canada as a case study for potential change. Ian McNally, That's TV.